I grew up in a small village where actually I didn't see me cooking was anything wrong. I just didn't like cooking, honestly. I just didn't like cooking. So I wasn't looking at it like, oh, my brothers are not cooking, I am cooking. I just never liked cooking. I never liked doing anything that has to do cook, take care of the kids. I just never liked any of those. And so I went to school so I cannot cook, because that was the only condition our grandmother had. If you don't want to cook, you don't want to do anything, then focus in school. So that's why I focused in school. So my school was very, very calculated and strategic. It only served my own purpose. That it saved me from going to the farm early in the morning at 5, but also it made me jump, so I don't need to do all the traditional things at home. But also somehow, it was normal. You go to school, by class 5 you get married. So school was just a place for me to get away from everything I didn't like. And it wasn't like marriage was bad. It's just like when you got married, you became a woman. And you take care of the kids, you have kids, you do all these things that I never liked. So for me, marriage was also associated with cooking, taking care of kids, and all those things that I never liked. So then I was like, I think marriage is not for me. But also, I was raised with a very strong woman and a very strong man that actually never told me, you can do this or you cannot do this. In a very village standard. So it's not a big standard. In a very village standard. But at least I grew up knowing I can be anything, I can do anything. I can say anything. Of course, with repercussions coming if you say anything. But also I knew I can go wherever I want to go. So that kept me going. But I was also told as a young girl to learn to face my fears. So I remember if there was any village meeting and I'm scared to stand in front of the people, my grandmother would be pushing me at my back, stand up, stand up. Stand up and speak. And I'm just shivering and she's like, just keep speaking. And I'm talking, actually I'm crying, but I'm talking. And she was saying that's how you face your fears. And she's not a feminist. She doesn't even know what feminism is. She's not an activist. She doesn't even know what that means. Even now when I say, I'm a feminist, like, what is that? But she taught me all these things, and my grandfather, that as a girl you have to fight twice as harder. First of all, to be listened to, for someone to trust you, but also to be taken serious. And also, they taught me, if people start taking you serious as a woman, that means you're not marriageable type. Because you're being too serious. So as a woman, I cannot be too serious. I need to be nice, but I cannot be too nice. Because if I'm too nice, I'm inviting somebody to invade my privacy. Because I'm becoming too nice. I can smile to make everybody comfortable, but I should not smile too much because I'll make everybody uncomfortable and I'll be inviting to be invaded in my privacy. As a woman, I can be strong, but not too strong to make the community or people around me scared. So I need to measure my strength. And we're told, as girls, you can be anything. You can fly. But we also know you can fly as long as the community can still catch you. If you fly too high, you scare the community. You scare patriarchy. And they don't like it when you fly too much. That's what we're told. Don't speak too much. Don't look up there. Walk nicely. Be nice and be humble. But we all know when you do all those things, you are inviting more problems and troubles than when you do not invite them. So it's very confusing being a woman. You almost have to be like you're always on drugs, eh? I don't know if others feel like that. Like if you want to challenge the system, you have to be half normal and sometimes half you don't understand where you are, right? That's when you challenge the system. So you have to calculate your movements and your words, because your words and your actions have repercussions. And the repercussions are not only coming from your family or friends, they're coming from everywhere. Because we live in a societal community that is so scared of a woman's strength. It's extremely terrifying when a woman is very strong. But they celebrate men's strength. So as we move to generation equality, my daughter just turned 20, and I can see how different we are. She's a feminist because I raised her. I'm a feminist, but we're completely different. How we define feminism, what we fight for, or what we think is important. We are even different what we wear, our colors and everything else. She's like, no, I'm not you. I'm just your daughter, but I'm not you. And every day, her and her brothers teaches me, there is no way I can say I'm your spokesperson because I cannot speak them. And she's my daughter, and I love her. But there is no way I can say, I am going to be your spokesperson, I'm going to be advocate. Because sometimes I don't even know what her priorities are. And I think when you're talking in the movement, and now going back to the generation equality in the movement and the feminism movement, I think it's also really important to make sure that we are giving the young ones the seat. And I think for some of us, I think sometimes it's very scary to be at the back of the seat because you want to be there. And I think there is sometimes a fear that if I sit at the back, probably they'll forget what I did, my fight, for the equality, my fight for everything. But I think it's really important sometimes to face that fear and let the young ones lead the movement, let the young ones define the movement, even sometimes when we are very confused, because sometimes I get so confused when you're with the young ones, the words they use, everything else, you're very confused, like, okay, is that where we're going? Or is that still feminism? Yeah, that is their feminism. So I think it's really important to make sure that we can let them lead the movement, but we can trust them that they can lead the movement. We can support them if they need our support. And that you just know that the movement is too big for all of us to fit in. And also, we need to make sure that we are normalizing some of these discussions. We need to start normalizing our girls and our boys' strength. And I hope for the young ones, especially for the girls, own your achievement. Own your strength. Do not apologize for them. Because I think most of the time, we want young girls to apologize for their strength, to apologize for saying no. If you want to say no, make it capital no. And if you want to say yes, make it capital yes. And I know we live in a culture where we have to fit the narrative so we can be marriageable. You don't need to be marriageable. If marriage wants you, it will find you, regardless of who you are. And only if that's your choice you want. So if marriage is not your choice, do not apologize for it. Because sometimes girls come with a thesis to justify why they don't want to get married. Just say, I don't want to get married, and have no explanation. Full stop. And for young girls and young boys, do not stop your dreams because you want to fit in a community narrative, because you will never fit, no matter how hard you try. You die trying, but you die so miserable. First of all, you never lived, you didn't fit, and by the way, you died, just like everybody else. So live you and do you, so you can live a very peaceful life. But as you do that, make sure that you're not making anyone else or somebody else feel inadequate because you're trying to be you. That is not the purpose of being strong. And last, I think we should also normalize women owning, being rich, owning business, having money, deciding how they want to spend that money. Even if they want to shop, let them shop. That is their money. Because sometimes like, oh, women are shopping. Yes, find your own money and shop. So we should also make girls be comfortable and confident. Because sometimes I think women, we are being told to do so many things, and then in the end we become so confused because you want to fit in. So you're working, you have business, you have this, you have that. You're always into something, but the only thing you never have is time for yourself. If you don't take care of yourself, the world will teach you how to take care of yourself, and you won't like it. Thank you so much.